under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511 by tender of payment 2 and 3.
It's not applicable to this case.
And could you tell me why, Your Honor?
Because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance. Sir?
Yes.
I'm asking a very simple question.
A tense moment played out in Judge Simpson's courtroom when a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen attempted to challenge the very foundation of the legal system. This individual, accused of squatting, tried to present a cashier's check filled with unusual markings and foreign numbers, insisting it should be accepted as rent. Judge Simpson, known for his no-nonsense approach, quickly cut through the argument, reminding everyone in the courtroom that only legal U.S. currency counts as valid payment for debts. The exchange highlighted a growing issue courts are seeing more often, people testing unusual or self-invented interpretations of the law in situations as straightforward as paying rent. In this case, the outcome was clear. The document had no legal standing, and Judge Simpson wasted no time in pointing that out. His firm but direct response underscored the importance of sticking to established law rather than attempting to rewrite the rules mid-hearing. The bigger debate, though, is about squatter laws themselves. Some argue they need to be stricter to prevent situations like this, while others believe tenants in difficult positions deserve broader protections. It's a conversation that always sparks strong opinions, and this case is no exception. Oh, what do you think? Should squatter protections be narrowed to stop abuses like this, or should the law provide more leeway to people in tough housing situations? Either way, Judge Simpson made it clear that creativity in currency is not a valid defense. Let's take a closer look at how this courtroom clash unfolded.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Your Honor?
What's your name, sir? What is the claim in this case?
Judge, this is a non-payment of rent action with a money judgment being requested as well. I'm showing that rent is due in the amount of $1,588, court costs of $217 for a total rent retained of $1,805.
And sir,
Yes.
how do you intend upon paying this?
So, Your Honor, I actually tendered payment to Group 5 Management on November 3rd. And my form of payment was refused.
Was what?
My form of payment, she refused payment.
What was your form of payment?
A cashier's check. I actually have the voided check here. And I'm asking for
You had a
Yes.
cashier's check? Let me see.
If this is also the refusal in the email from the landlord. All right.
Danny, do you know anything about the refusal of payment?
I do not, Judge. Obviously, I'm standing in for Mr. Weiss. I believe my client or the client was supposed to be on. My understanding was that it wasn't a cashier's check. It was a counter or a check. And the reason it would have been refused was because he's had more than 3 checks come back as insufficient funds. But I would ask if I don't see if he's on here, Judge.
From Randolph Court or Group 5 on the Zoom? We don't have anybody checked in.
We don't.
Email.
Judge,
Hang on, listen, he has an email saying about the refusal. Well, it's a text message screenshot.
Yes, it's a email. I actually screenshotted it.
And it says,
if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Let's get back to the video.
From somebody with the last name of Aslam, ASLAM, indicating that they received a rent check in the sum of $1,238, which the check that he showed me was in the form of an over-the-counter check. However, must be certified funds. And then, second page, as the system will not accept this, maybe. But
yeah, Judge, my notes on the ledger show counter check, which is a check that's not, it's one of the ones they give you from the bank. And so again,
Okay.
that's the decision I was taking anyways, it was refused.
So,
because-
sir,
Yes.
is there a reason why you can't get certified funds to the landlord?
Well, they actually accepted December's rent from the same check, Your Honor, from my bank.
Okay, but if,
Well, because it costs, and my defense is that under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511, by tender of payment, 2 and 3,
it's not applicable to this case
and could you tell me why, Your Honor?
because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
I'm sorry.
The UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
It's a commercial transaction, Your Honor.
The UCC does not apply.
Okay. So where could I find this at that says that this isn't a commercial transaction?
That would be your assertion. I'm telling you it doesn't apply to this.
Just for my understanding that the Uniform Commercial Code governs all commercial transactions in commerce. And so based off of this law, tender of payment is why my defense is that once the tender of payment was refused, at that time, the charge or the total amount was
You
get
can't,
charged.
even if you were to do that analysis, you can't then have unjust enrichment, which means that you want to move.
I'm sorry.
You can't have unjust enrichment, so you'd have to move because you can't have the apartment and not pay.
No, I mean, I paid the rent. They took the exact form of payment in December.
Look, falling behind on rent is something many people can relate to at some point in life. Times get tough, bills pile up, and it's stressful. But let's be honest, walking into court with a fake cashier's check and insisting it counts as legitimate payment isn't a solution. It's almost as if some of these so-called sovereign citizens believe they can simply will their way out of eviction with creative paperwork and confident arguments. Unfortunately for them, the law doesn't bend that easily. What's fascinating is how committed some people are to these unusual strategies. They'll argue with judges, wave around documents pulled from internet forums, and genuinely expect the court to treat them as valid. It's become a recognizable pattern. Pockets of people online encouraging each other to believe in ideas that simply don't hold up in real legal proceedings. And Michigan seems to have no shortage of these courtroom moments. Week after week, it feels like another case emerges that leaves viewers shaking their heads. People walk into courtrooms armed with screenshots, strange documents, or even novelty items, and then seem surprised when none of it works. One story even involved a man attempting to use game money as rent payment, an effort that, of course, failed immediately. To this point, it almost feels like these hearings could double as reality television, with the sheer confidence on display clashing against the very real boundaries of the law. But while the antics may look entertaining from the outside, the truth is that these cases carry real consequences, and courts like Judge Simpson's are there to make sure the rules remain clear.
Sir, are you going to tender a check or no? Or certified funds to them?
I will tender payment.
Are you going to tender certified funds for the 1805?
So, Your Honor, my rent is $1,238, and just the extra $700, $600. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but if they accepted the rent payment and from my bank in December, I don't know why they wouldn't accept it now. They refused November, and then they accepted December.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm asking a very simple question.
Yeah.
Are you going to tender certified funds to them in the amount of 1805?
I will surrender. I will submit funds.
Certified funds to them.
I plan to. It costs me to do certified, so I would.
As does
I would
the
like to.
NSF transactions that they've had in the past. So that is my question to you. Are you going to submit certified funds
I'll submit certified funds.
in the amount of 1805?
I like to debate that amount because I'm not sure where that amount's coming from. My rent is $1,238. In court costs, I'm not sure where the other $600.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Defendant to submit $1,238, which at this point is the undisputed amount in certified funds to the landlord no later than December 29th, 2023. And then we will look at the disputed amounts. I will adjourn this matter to January 5th, 2024 at 2 p.m. And I would just note to you, Mr. Smith, that if those funds aren't in, I'm not hearing any additional argument. I will be granting a judgment, which will be for the full amount, plus what will at that point be January's rent.
Your Honor, also, the 4th I have to work, so every time that I'm coming here, I'm having to take off of work. And
Sir, I cannot help that.
I mean, is there a way that we can set a different date?
That is my next date.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can almost guarantee the next time this defendant shows up, he'll be standing in front of the judge insisting, "But Your Honor, I already paid them. I gave them a paper that said $1,200 on it." The problem is simple. That's not how money works. Writing out your own version of a payment and expecting the world to accept it is more like a group project gone wrong than a legal transaction. The court doesn't care if the document is typed, handwritten, or even decorated in glitter ink. A fake check is still a fake check. And under federal law, specifically 18 U.S. Code Section 514, attempting to pass off counterfeit financial instruments is a serious crime. That's not the kind of mistake that gets brushed aside. It's the kind that can lead to real prison time, with all the consequences that come with it. What makes this even more puzzling is how often cases like this seem to pop up in Michigan. At this point, it almost feels like the state has become a hotspot for sovereign citizen showdowns. Whether it's people declaring, "I don't consent," or insisting judges have no jurisdiction, these dramatic moments keep surfacing again and again. It's almost as if there's an underground movement handing out starter kits on how to argue with the legal system using internet logic, and in the end, Judge Simpson's patience once again stood out as he navigated yet another unusual hearing with calm authority. But the bigger question remains. Is this a sign that squatter and sovereign citizen cases are on the rise, or just that Michigan has a knack for producing some of the most viral courtroom moments? That's where I'll leave it to you. Do you think Judge Simpson's handling of this case was fair, or should the consequences have been even harsher? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay smart.